1986 action movies. Feel free to treat yourself to Punch and Pie.
More people will come if they think we have punch and pie.
Boy. Hey, let's talk about you, the ID10T community events at ID10T.com, like Russ Stevens, a.k.a.
Cat Bus Russ,
who has started a podcast called 90 for Chill, which Russ says is dedicated to movies with a runtime between 74 and 99 minutes, the time frame that I feel is ideal. Russ, I could not agree with you more. That is a fantastic idea. Russ goes on to say there are times you need a cinematic fix but don't have time for the latest Scorsese masterpiece or offering from a comic book universe. There's also times when you need a conclusion to prevent a binge costing you a whole night. My guest and I try to follow these guidelines as we chat up features that are definitely worth your time and are beyond easy to make time for. 90 for Chill, the podcast, can be found on all major podcast platforms at 90forchill.com, and that's spelling out 90, Ninety, 4 FOR, chill. So there you go. Thank you so much for sharing, Russ. Really great idea for a podcast. Events at ID10T.com for everyone else.
Hello and welcome to I Dig Crazy Flicks with Cat Bus Russ. I'm your host, Cat Bus Russ, and this episode is the inaugural 1986 RAD Movies or Bad Movies panel, and I'm joined by Couchman Bakes on social media, Andrew Teedy, friend of the show. Thinking of 1986, we did a podcast about Big Trouble in Little China that was recently reissued on this feed for all those who want to catch up on it, and we kind of realized that The Golden Child is kind of in the same boat as that feature, mysticism action comedies. So that's kind of what this panel is going to be about. We're going to talk about movies from 1986, the blockbuster, and what would now be called a mockbuster in a sense. Really, that's not the case because in most of these features, they have a new take on it, but they're trying to beat each other out to the punch. That's what this panel will be about. But again, with the Chinese mysticism, I'm going to quickly review The Golden Child, and before I get to that, let me get through the formalities. If you want to help the podcast out, come on, be a guest. All I need's a movie, a theme, a director, an actor. If the topic is bonkers, I'll happily chat with you about it. If it's a little more mellow, like a Kevin Smith comedy, a Richard Linklater indie flick, as long as it fits between 70 and 100 minutes, I'll give you at least 40 minutes on Zoom. So you can send an email to russthebus07@gmail.com. That's RUSSTHEBUS07@gmail.com for that suggestion, or you can follow me on my social medias. That's at CatBusRuss, primarily on Blue Sky, but I'm on Threads and Instagram as well. And another way to support the podcast, rate and subscribe on your favorite podcast apps, 5-star reviews preferably. I will learn from the comments. I will learn how to be a better podcaster. I will know who the real jerks are. And my final way to assist the podcast is I do have a Patreon. That's patreon.com/IDigCrazyFlicks. Just looking for $3 a month. That'll get you access to the original 90forchill.com, the podcast feed, so you can hear how I've become a better podcaster. Hopefully, you will get yourself either a fridge magnet or waterproof sticker to help promote the store. I've got the fridge magnet on my locker at work and waterproof stickers on all my water bottles. So I'm doing my best for that subliminal work. And you also get a shout out on each episode, which I do believe I addressed during the panel. If you don't want to do it for the show, the $3 a month will give Ava the Queen Kitty 3 tins of cat food. So if it's not for me, do it for the cat. And more importantly, I'll cut all the ads out on the Patreon feed. Thanks for checking out I Dig Crazy Flicks, and enjoy this review of The Golden Child, and then we'll jump right into the 1986 RAD Movies or Bad Movies panel. Thanks.
A child has been kidnapped 5 days ago in northeastern Tibet.
Well, Tibet's a little bit out of my territory.
This child is special, Mr. Gerard. His destiny is to save the world.
Every 1,000 generations, a perfect child is born. A golden child.
Who would want to take the kid anyway?
Those who want evil rather than good.
Can you be a little bit more specific?
Perhaps I've had you brought here to make you a very attractive offer.
Well, I don't think I can accept a proposal this early in the season.
I'm willing to make an exchange. I will trade the child for the Yanti dagger.
You are the chosen one. You will find a child.
I suppose until I'm challenged by another panelist, and I can't really say Andrew challenged me. We were pretty in sync. The Golden Child I just concluded watching it via Canopy, and really effective app. I like how that operates. So, get yourself a library card. So, if that's the only thing you get out of this review. But I really think The Golden Child's a story about the titular golden child in Tibet being kidnapped by Charles Dance and his goons to basically turn the world to hell. If they can kill the child somehow, it'll be hell on earth. The prophecy says that a chosen one from the city of angels, but who is definitely no angel, will save him, and that would be Eddie Murphy, who focuses on trying to find lost children. And his most recent case leads him into this Tibetan dark magic affair, if he'd like it or not. And he's got to find a way to save the kid. And I guess now, as I'm talking about it, it really gets the story is pretty flawed when it's in LA. It takes a while to get rolling, and, we get some great visual effects. Phil Tippett and ILM, Industrial Light and Magic, worked on it. I really wish we could have gotten more of it really quick. I do like the cast on a whole is pretty solid. Eddie Murphy is your lead. Charles Dance is a villain. You can't go wrong with that. Charlotte Lewis, who's in one of my favorite Dolph Lundgren movies, Men of War. And then you got Victor Wong and James Hong. And it's funny how this is a project that John Carpenter passed on to do Big Trouble in Little China. And which also features Victor Wong and James Hong, Egg Chen, and David Lo Pan, respectively. So there's a lot of parallels to Big Trouble in Little China, and it ended up being a race to get it out first, and Eddie Murphy's star power ended up boosting this over Big Trouble in Little China is all I can figure out. That's where we get to on the bad movie or RAD movie. Interesting, so I've found one where the movie that made the most money is definitely not the one I would call the RAD movie. It's not bad, it just takes a while to get rolling. It's like Eddie Murphy is doing Axel Foley again, except he doesn't get to do any of his bits. He doesn't get to go R-rated. Honestly, it's like Shrek if it was just Donkey, I guess is how I'd consider this adventure. So there's a lot of great experimentation with this, especially ILM and Phil Tippett, but I can't really say the visual effects hold up, which is odd to say when it came to ILM. Like, I think they did some good work with early computer-generated stuff in this. I mean, I'll take it over Spawn, 1997. It feels like it was done on the quick. It doesn't have that authentic vibe of Big Trouble in Little China. Everything is just, it looks Asian, that's it. That's all Eddie Murphy has to go through. There's no interaction with the culture for the most part, in my opinion. When I first really came across this movie, it was like ending back on syndication, WYZZ, some Saturday morning. I got back from some practice, and it's like, Eddie Murphy is a hero in a dark fantasy movie, and I came in on the end, so yeah, I miss all the good bits, in other words. You can't hate it, I guess is what I'm getting at there, but I don't know how it could really get an audience. Again, it's just Eddie Murphy didn't even have a movie in 1985. How did he stay warm on this? It's just very weird to see that he ended up being the biggest star at that point. So it's just odd to see that there was a time where all you needed was a Eddie Murphy, because you go to the late 90s, and like for every Dr. Dolittle, there's Holy Man. Every Bowfinger, there's a Pluto Nash. He works. That's really what I can say. And I'm not saying he works as an actor. I'm saying he works a lot. So it's appropriate that Charles Dance is in this movie as well. This isn't a rewatchable movie. That's what I will say. It doesn't have Joey Pants in it. How can it be rewatchable? It's not a rewatchable movie in the sense that you can't just come in on this feature. You got to be there from the beginning to the end. And as I say, the beginning's kind of slow. It's just Eddie Murphy being Eddie Murphy, and it just doesn't feel like there's a lot of story to it. You get through that, If you like Eddie Murphy, you're going to get through that, and then you're going to get to an interesting enough story. Victor Wong and James Hong aren't as fun as they are in Big Trouble in Little China. And then other things I noticed, like Al Yong is a stunt person. There's so many parallels. It's amazing that these two movies were in production at the same time and have such similar vibes. This one is just made, I think, really to test new special effects out for ILM. I mean, they are very prominent in the end credits on what they were trying to do. Perhaps we can remake The Golden Child. I don't think it works as well because Charlotte Lewis doesn't have as much to do as everybody around Kurt Russell in Big Trouble in Little China. There's not an ensemble. If there's any ensemble, it's with our villain, and most of his character and his surrounding characters are mute. There's a great dream/reality sequence, which is a lot of fun in there. But again, it seems so experimental. Same year as Howard the Duck, so I guess Lucasfilm was just hedging their bets.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey, Catbus Russ here, and I'm getting over my excitement and frantic nature that was UICon, doing 3 panels in one day. It requires a lot. Never mind, it's in my hometown, so if I thought I could do something better, I'm running across town to ensure that I could do it. And I wouldn't be able to do it without Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend. It's a powder energy drink with just enough caffeine to equal a cup of coffee and all the vitamins you need to get you through your day. So from essentially 9 to 11, I'm running around Champaign-Urbana and I'm pulling it off thanks to Dubby. And if you want to experience that, go and visit dubby.gg, and when you go to checkout, use promo code CatBusRus to save yourself 10% off. But never mind that initial savings, you're going to be saving money anyhow. If you drink energy drinks at work, that's going to end up being an $80 a month habit. Dubby Jitterless Energy, that's going to knock that $80 in half. Dubby.gg, promo code CatBusRus at checkout, and save yourself money and get all the energy you could possibly need to push through that workday. Thank you, Dubby Energy.
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Bring the noise.
I know he's not going to do the tall man for me.
You're going to
go for it?
Yeah,
okay.
I was going to do it this time.
You have seen Phantasm, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Long
good.
time ago.
Yeah. Okay. This panel is protected under the laws of the United States and other countries. Unauthorized duplication, distribution, or exhibition may result in civil liability, criminal prosecution, and the wrath of the tall man.
That would be me.
All right, so I'm Catbus Russ is the moniker I go by. I do a movie podcast. I dig crazy flicks, weekly episodes every Wednesday, and I'm joined by Andrew Teedy of Couchman Bakes, or I should say Baking While Baked.
Baking While Baked is a cooking show I do on what's left of TikTok. I have a whole bunch of episodes left up on there if you want to check those out. And you can find me at Couchman Bakes and Baking While Baked 1 on Instagram and Threads.
So, yes, watch him make delicacies.
Baking While Baked, the show where I make delectable baked goods full of sugar and spice while I'm full of herb and feeling nice. All
right, so
it's exactly what it sounds like.
So 1986, the time before direct-to-video was really a thing. So, like 1985, that's when Sam Goody, Minneapolis-based, finally got we need Purple Rain on our shelves. So that's kind of started the market. But in the meantime, since you didn't have your DVD knockoffs like the Asylum movies like Atlantic Rim, Abraham Lincoln, Zombie Killer, Transmorphers, we can go on and on. You had studios themselves, big budget studios, had to go and try to beat each other to the punch. So For example, I'll just go to the easiest one. So, getting my notes out. Top grossing movie of 1986. Top Gun. About Tom Cruise heading to the elite of the elite fighter trainer program the Navy has to offer. Now, that's not my favorite movie about fighter pilots in 1986. I think Andrew, shaking his head, might agree with me. It's definitely more fun and, fits the I Did Crazy Flicks theme.
This movie that he's talking about, Iron Eagle, holds a special place in my heart because there was a period of time for like 5 months when I was like 7 years old that this movie was like on Showtime, either right as I was getting ready to go to school or right when I got home from school, every damn day. The number of times I have seen this movie is embarrassingly high.
I don't think there's any reason to be embarrassed. Like, Iron Eagle is a story about, Doug Masters, played by Jason Gedrick, I think. All right. Whose father, played by the legendary B-movie actor Tim Thomerson. Probably best known as Doll Man or, I can't remember he was the, Trancers.
I just
can't come up with his name.
You've seen him in stuff.
Yes. On Tubi right now, there's a movie called Heat Seeker, which is like Bloodsport / Terminator, but not that good. From the director of Cyborg, which I'm actually a huge fan of the director, and I appreciate his efforts. But yeah, I'm not going to say it's quality.
You shouldn't.
Oh, well, so you've seen Heat Seeker with Gary Daniels?
No, but I've seen Cyborg.
Cyborg was fun. Okay. Cyborg was supposed to be...
It was supposed to be a He-Man movie, then a Spider-Man movie.
Yes. Canon Pictures, which we will talk a lot about at the 10 p.m. panel, 1985 triple threat match. Schwarzenegger versus Stallone versus the Cannon Group. Cannon Group being Chuck Norris, Charlie Bronson.
Old guys.
Michael Dudikoff is not old.
Well, not that time.
No. Okay. So yes, Iron Eagle, a story about Doug Masters, whose father is shot down, let's say Libya.
Nondescript 1980s Middle Eastern country.
On the Mediterranean. And the government can't really do anything about getting him back. He's going to be executed, hung in 3 days.
Yep.
So, along with...
3 days. Keep that time frame in mind. 3 damn days.
So, along with the Eagles, I think they are, his group, featuring the guy who would end up voicing Michelangelo in the Turtles trilogy.
Also, keep in mind, did we mention that Doug Masters is a high school student?
Yes, just got his letter saying he's not going to go to the Air Force Academy. His dad has been sneaking him onto the base, though, to work on the simulators and to fly F-16s. And he always flies with a tape deck attached to him. And I would say the soundtrack is about as good as Top Gun.
The soundtrack is good, but again, a child is flying a fighter jet, and his father is letting him.
So, they got 3 days, all these kids, featuring Lamar from Revenge of the Nerds, which I will stand by. Now, I know that's a lot of cancel culture stuff, but the verb or the primary noun in Revenge of the Nerds is revenge.
Very true.
So what they do, like, if you're gonna go for vengeance, go for broke. My opinion, or the opinion of I Did Crazy Flicks LLC, sue the company, not me. Okay, so they talk Louis Gossett Jr., Oscar award-winning actor Louis Gossett Jr.
He must have had a car note or something to
to help them get the two F-16s to fly over and get his dad back
in 3 days.
They get prepped in 2, and then flying at 600 miles an hour, it'll get you there.
I was in the military. It takes 2 months to figure out when you're going to have a meeting for the meeting.
Well, that's the Army, not the Air Force.
They have better catering.
All right, so yes, it's crazy. You get a lot of cool tracks on his tape deck. One Vision by Queen, The first Queen song ever written by Queen. Don't pay attention to Bohemian Rhapsody. They really like, yes, Rami Malek, great. But as I've been a Queen fan since 1982. My mom would go Flash, and I obviously would give the response, all right. So that movie did not make the same money that Top Gun did. It actually got released.
I have the numbers.
It got released 4 months earlier.
Iron Eagle was released January 17th, 1986. Top Gun came out May 16th, 1986. So yeah, about 5 months.
Yeah. So I would say, could Iron Eagle have been more successful? It had 3 sequels and inspired an entire Family Guy bit.
Do you want to hear the financial numbers?
Let's hear the financial numbers.
Okay, so Iron Eagle had a budget of 10 mil. Not too bad for a mid-80s movie. Top Gun, somewhere between 13 and 15. So fairly comparable in the budgets. Iron Eagle made 24 million. So it wasn't a bomb. Top Gun made 357 million. There you go. I'm a numbers guy.
Okay, so that but as they say, there was no direct-to-video market. So if you want to make money on the same idea or similar idea, you got to do it yourself. You like, big studios had to put the money up. Yes, sir.
Yeah. What do you think was the root cause of the difference in gross income there? Because I want to say it was Tom Cruise.
Yes,
he was a more bankable star.
Yes.
And also, like, Top Gun was trying to be a dramatic action movie. Iron Eagle was trying to be something on film.
It's a B picture. The entire premise is like, this is so crazy. Hence why I do a podcast called I Did Crazy Flicks. That you just want to see it. It's gonna probably be a train wreck. It's not. Iron Eagle 2, 3.
Don't watch those.
4 was okay.
Yeah. The movie ends after the first one. Okay.
But the second one, that's when they have to work with the Soviets to stop a Middle Eastern threat. Okay, we'll stop. We'll stop at 1. All right, so let's go to the top grossing animated feature of 1986. That would be An American Tail. All right, so the story of Jewish immigrants portrayed by mice arriving in America. Now, I don't think Disney was trying to...
Well, that wasn't Disney.
No, that wasn't. That was Universal. I don't think Disney was trying to beat them to the punch, but they had a movie with Victorian-era mice, The Great Mouse Detective. I mean, Vincent Price is Radigan. I was disappointed. My ex is in the audience, and we're on great terms. She's actually, I would say, a producer on I Did Crazy Flicks. She spent a year buying... visiting our shared cat, buying 3 sub 100-minute movies a week for each letter of the alphabet. She made me some beautiful pillows, Disney, with all these Disney cats, except Felicia, Radigan's cat. So bye Felicia, I guess.
You did all that for a bye Felicia joke?
No, okay. But I'm just trying to get her loosened up. But so. This is not Disney's heyday, sadly.
No, this is in that weird dark period of the 80s for Disney when they had like the Black Cauldron.
Which I liked.
It was good, but it also put many kids in therapy.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing on another 1986 movie that I don't have a comparison for yet.
But this was a few years before Disney's renaissance with Oliver and Company and later Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid was the monster hit. Oliver and Company, I love again. Kitties.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, I mean Robert Loggia, who we will talk about.
Yep.
Okay, so. And Dom DeLuise was in both. He wasn't in Great Mouse Detective.
No,
he was. I suddenly got thought on.
Yeah, he was in Oliver and Company, and he was also in American Tail. Yeah.
So, I think the more fun movie is The Great Mouse Detective. I mean, how many times did what's that?
Sherlock Holmes?
No. The Mouskowitz.
Fievel.
Yeah. How many times did we get bait and switched on Fievel being dead.
At least 3.
Yeah. So
in like 20 minutes.
So it's a little more intense, but you got a great cast. Dom DeLuise, as I said, Madeline Kahn, kind of in that middle between. No, I mean her character-wise, middle of Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, a little reminiscent of both her Mel Brooks appearances.
Yes. So. Obviously, as I said, American Tail was the big bankable one. And I think it was only probably a $30 million difference.
Let's see. I got the numbers. They were released about 5 months apart. Mouse Detective was released July 2nd. American Tail came out in November, so it got that holiday bump. Mouse Detective, $14 million to make, made about $50 million, so again, not terrible. American Tail, $9 million budget, $84.5 million.
So more money made and less spent. So that's how you're supposed to do it, especially in Reagan's 80s.
Well, the funny thing is, they re-released Great Mouse Detective in '92.
They did it every 7 years.
Yeah, but I believe that was also the same year that the sequel to American Tail came out.
I think it was
91 or 92.
I think it was 91.
Okay.
So, because I think Beauty and the Beast trans.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
All right. So, American Tail, classic animated feature. Top Gun. It's a Tony Scott movie.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise. A lot of prestige given to it. So, but Warner Brothers had a franchise that was making a lot of money, despite the second one. It's kind of forgettable. First one is a classic. This is when they made it family friendly, and this is the time I got to watch it all the time on HBO and such. Rated PG. Police Academy 3, back in training. So, you got a great formula. So why don't you try it with the director of Commando, and some bigger names like Steve Guttenberg. It was a good year for him.
Oh yeah, very good year.
Very good year. We'll get to more Goots. But Bubba Smith.
Yep.
Daniel Graff. Can't remember. Tackleberries. Michael Winslow. Great guy. I used to drive for the Mark Twain Hotel. Get the guys to the Jukebox Comedy Club. Really cool guy. David Graff. Tackleberry.
Yep.
All right, these names aren't as big as, even in 1986, John Candy, Eugene Levy, Meg frickin' Ryan, and there's so many great that guys in the movie. A lot of those. In the movie that I'm bringing up, Armed and Dangerous. John Candy, disgraced cop, is forced to go into private security.
Armored truck driver.
He doesn't actually. They don't drive a truck till the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, it was just a security firm. That's right. Guard. You're right.
Oh, Tiny Lister, Jonathan Bakes, Ryan James. Again, so many great names. Steve Railsback. So it's basically, what if it was security guards and he's matched up with a guy who just can't make it as a lawyer, Eugene Levy.
At his whiny, smarmiest best in this movie.
This is probably the biggest Eugene Levy role up until the Christopher Guest movies and American Pie.
Yeah, I would say this is kind of what I knew him for as a kid until I was a teenager when American Pie came out.
And I would say that I think it was bogged down by the story, and then it just gets silly by the end.
Oh, it's completely absurd.
Yeah,
even for an '80s movie.
Right. Robert Loggia's the villain, a corrupt union head. Very Reagan era. But so, as I say, it gets bogged down by the story, because Police Academy 3 works because it's just really funny bits.
Yep.
Like, let's rip off some eyebrows.
Yeah, it's just sophomore humor. Junior high humor, sophomore humor, repeat.
Right. There's really no inciting incidents until the end, and it's like...
No, I can't believe I'm going to criticize the plot of a Police Academy movie, because that's such a hard thing to do. But it does have probably one of the weaker plots of a Police Academy movie, because there isn't one.
But you get Brian Toshi is great. He ended up being a Ninja Turtle too.
Yep.
Voice of Leonardo.
Yep.
I was at a fan expo in New Orleans, got to see the Turtles reunited. Corey Feldman did not partake, but he was at the con. He only did the Goonies. He didn't even.
Well, because they probably paid him more.
They didn't even do. He didn't even do the one with Jameson Newlander, the Frog Brothers. Like, all right, that was like 85 through 87 though. Prime vampire cinema.
Well, hell yeah.
Like 85, Fright Night. 86, The Lost Boys. Yep. 87 is Near Dark.
Yep.
Which, so. Armed and Dangerous didn't fare nearly as well as the bankable Police Academy. Police Academy about 50 million or so.
Something like I didn't prepare for this one, so I don't have the numbers on that one.
All right, so might as well transition into another Gutenberg bit. Short Circuit. Who didn't like Johnny Five?
My brother was actually terrified of him.
Oh, well, you should be. Like, I was freaked out the first scene of the movie.
He was one, so I mean.
Okay, my little brother was just out of the just crawling still. But the first scene of the movie is so intense.
It did have like almost Terminator-esque vibes, just because these are machines. They have red eyes. They are not looking friendly.
They got lasers.
Yeah. So yeah, it was. If you had seen Terminator and then you would see this, you're like, oh, it's something like that.
But so they get a demonstration of these killbots essentially, and I will have to transition that to another movie from '86. But one of them gets struck by lightning and becomes Johnny Five's alive.
It basically gives him the personality of a toddler.
Input.
Yes. Why? Yeah.
Yes. No disassemble. And it's about
which I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
No, disassemble. Yeah.
Your personal experience on that one. You got to listen to episodes like about Tombstone. We've done a bunch of Kevin Smith together.
Yeah, I've not made him, but we've talked about some very interesting movies together.
Yeah, it's a podcast. We go on tangents, obviously.
As you can tell.
I'm a big Malort enthusiast.
You keep that demon juice away from me. That stuff tastes like. No, I'm not going to say that.
All right, no, not we're going to say we're going to keep the language clean until the 10 o'clock.
I'm doing my best.
Okay, so. Now, there were a lot of robot movies, though, in 1986. For this one, I quickly researched Deadly Friend.
A little-known Wes Craven movie that came out in October of 86, came out about 2 weeks before Halloween. This is going to be the first bomb on the list. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and it's sad, because I think Craven, when you give him teenagers, he's at his best.
Oh, absolutely. And this one... budget of $11 million, but it only made 8.9 at the box office. So that's probably why, even as a horror guy, I didn't even know this movie existed until I started researching it.
Which is silly, because you got Kristy Swanson.
Yeah, Kristy Swanson, who I had a huge crush on when she did Buffy a few years later.
Yeah. So a new kid moves into town.
Yep.
Rough neighborhood. You got greasers, essentially.
In '86, which is still a weird stereotype at that point.
But he's accompanied by his friend, his robot friend, BB, voiced by the same guy who did Roger Rabbit.
Oh yes, Fleischer.
Yes. They move into town. Rough neighborhood. Not really, rough as in well, Champagne's kind of rough all over. It's like,
I live in Thomasboro, dude.
Okay, all right. Well, not crime-ridden, but just next door is Kristy Swanson. So this kid's a boy genius. He's going to Polytech. He built his own robot, who's essentially sentient. It would pass the Turing test. Next door to him is Kristy Swanson, who's got an extremely abusive dad. And there's some great Nightmare on Elm Street imagery, I would say, with that, even. And across the street is Anne Ramsey, best remembered as Mama Fratelli
Goonies.
in the Goonies. So, Halloween, they decide they're going to prank her, despite she waves a shotgun around a lot.
I would say she's. I don't even know if she knows the difference between this movie and The Goonies because she's basically playing the same character, just a mean old bat with a temper.
And she died before she was 60.
Which is insane because she looks 85 in the movie.
I know. Every movie. Throw Mama from the Train.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
So they try to pull a prank. BB figures out the combination lock on the door, and after the alarm goes off, she just unloads 4 shotgun rounds.
I would say right into this robot thingy.
Yeah. So BB's dead. The next night, after the first kiss between Christy Swanson and our hero, Dad pushes her down the stairs, bumps her head, brain dead. So he decides he's still got the CPU of BB. He's studying to be a neurosurgeon. He puts it into Christy Swanson's brain. And is it BB or is it Christy Swanson?
Dun dun dun.
Never mind. So we got a vengeful trail regardless.
So yeah, it's as odd as it sounds.
Yes.
Whereas, with Short Circuit, this robot is trying to learn to be a human, and he's very innocent, very childlike in nature. Whereas this other thing, it's a human machine kind of merging, fight for identity kind of a thing. And you can see which one would probably be more marketable to families, obviously.
Yes.
Because again, Short Circuit made $40.7 million on a $15 million budget, whereas the other one lost a couple $1 million.
And one other movie which definitely made money about killer robots is Chopping Mall.
I am so glad we were talking about Chopping Mall finally.
So, similar situation to Short Circuit, but we have a mall. This is a Roger Corman produced movie. Jim Wynorski is the director.
And if you know anything about Corman movies, they are great because they are horrible.
I wouldn't necessarily say horrible. Like definitely 2000.
Not horrible, but definitely classless.
Yes.
Trashy.
Yes. But Roger Corman gave pretty much the career of Ron Howard as a director.
Jack
Nicholson.
You got his start with Corman, yes.
Yes, all the greats. So Chopping Mall, a mall is going to have new security guards.
Robots. Bigger than me.
Yeah. We get a demo video and everything looks great until lightning strikes.
And now these robots on treads with weaponry on board are now semi-sentient and pissed.
Yes. And wouldn't you know it, we have an orgy happening at the furniture store. Darn kids screwing around.
He didn't mispronunciate any of that. That is the plot of the movie. A bunch of kids stay in a shopping mall after it closes so they can have a wild orgy in the furniture store.
So
80s, baby.
Yes. Another Dick Miller murder.
Yes, Dick Miller. But probably most famous for Gremlins.
Yes, unless you go way back with Bucket of Blood. Yeah.
But yeah, he was Mr. Futterman in the Gremlin movies.
And he was in Terminator. Jim Cameron got his start with Corman as well. Galaxy of Terror as a production designer. He's the guy who sells the T-800, all the weapons.
Yes.
You can't do that here. Wrong. So, kill Dick Miller. Pretty much in every
I say Dick Miller did not survive a lot of movies.
Worse than Sean Bean.
I would put their obituary count side by side,
Yeah. But with Roger Corman being trash cinema, it's really cheap to make.
Let's put it this way: $8.9 million that Deadly Friend made probably would have been a huge profit for any Corman movie.
Yes. And it actually fits. If you're really into Roger Corman, it fits into the Eating Raoul universe.
Oh yeah,
because you get Mary Rhinoff and Paul Bartel.
Sure, and it's funny that this phenomenon of movies studios trying to beat other movies to the punch, and that started in '86ish because there wasn't direct video market. You'd see this throughout the '90s. Actually, you'd see it in the early '90s with Tombstone and Wyatt Earp, two competing Wyatt Earp
stories,
biopics. I say with air quotes. Then you see a couple years later with like Volcano and Dante's Peak,
Deep Impact,
and Armageddon. So
Ants.
Ants. Bugs Life. I forgot about that one. So it still kind of exists. It's just it was very prominent in this one year because again, you couldn't go to your local truck stop or Walmart and have the $5, $3 video bin.
So yeah. Well, and I would say, so do we want to go PG-13 action, well, PG action, or R-rated action? You want to build up?
I will follow your lead.
All right, so I got 2 more examples. The Karate Kid Part 2.
Yep.
And, 1984 was definitely close to the #1 movie of the year. No, sorry, not in 84. Ghostbusters, Gremlins, Indiana Jones. But it made a lot of money.
Yes.
And the sequel's all right. Fish out of water, let's throw Danielson to Japan.
Those sequels are okay. None of them ever came close to the first one. At least in quality.
Yeah, it's really just footnotes for Cobra Kai.
Yeah, the fact that they were able to weave all of that together in a cohesive-ish story was impressive.
All three. I haven't watched enough to see if Hilary Swank gets brought back.
I don't think that one was brought up.
She had Michael Ironside in that one.
I know.
Okay, all right. So, Karate Kid. So obviously somebody wants to capitalize on that. And this would be, I can't remember the name of the production company, but early, and I think it's early Corey Yuen.
Possibly.
And the American debut of one Jean-Claude Van Damme. And Allie, do you remember this one? We went to see it at Mystery Science Theater 3000 Live.
Probably.
Okay. Way to fake it. Oh, sorry.
Probably, but I'm not telling you because I don't remember.
You want to see the receipts for that trip? We had a good time, regardless. No Retreat, No Surrender. The story of a boy who's the son of a martial arts dojo, and who is run out by the mob, who's got a ringer, a virtually mute Soviet.
Because it was the 80s, all the villains were Soviet
which
or Iranian.
Still doesn't make sense.
No.
Why is the mob working with the commies? Okay.
Because it made for a good action movie.
Okay.
Good is relative.
I know a lot of people stand by this franchise. It did get sequels, totally unrelated stuff, essentially. But they get ran out of town. So kid's got to start fresh, and he's getting bullied by everybody. Nobody's giving you a chance for the martial arts studio because the fat kid is telling lies.
Yeah.
So he's got to learn how to fight on his own, but there is one person there for him, the ghost of Bruce Lee.
This was actually greenlit and filmed by a major motion picture studio.
New World Pictures I wouldn't call major.
Major adjacent.
It was a Hong Kong studio actually trying to get into the U.S. market.
Oh, okay.
So, and then it ends with Van Damme having to do the job to a teenager. But
because Van Damme played the Soviet, by the way, he wasn't the good guy in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah, and Van Damme had 2 lines. This was his debut in film in America, but he played a Soviet who didn't speak.
Yeah. So
because a French accent does not translate to Russian.
Flemish, but
Belgian. I mean, that's French-ish.
Well, they speak. They speak Flemish.
Oh, okay.
Flemish and French. I mean, they're interchangeable. I think JCVD is actually French.
Oh, okay.
Or at least the language is French. That's one to check out. One of those "What if it was real" movies.
That was one of the ones he made in the meth days, right?
No. This was like the recovery film.
Oh, that's right. This was after the meth.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, if it gets you in a situation with Kylie Minogue,
I'm not saying the dude didn't have game. I'm just saying he also had a meth habit.
All right. So, again, this is the case of there's no way No Retreat, No Surrender was not going to make money. I mean, it was so low budget.
Yeah, again, when you spend $5 to make a movie, you might see a profit.
Right. So yeah. So that's just the fun one to bring up, because I think it was just. I think like Karate Kid was the rare action movie, going back to the development of the rating system, like, and that'll be brought up at the 1985 action movie Triple Threat match at 10. It's like most action, you just didn't make kung fu movie for kids.
Sure.
So.
And the fact that action movies could be rated as either R or PG until my lifetime kind of astounds me when I see some stuff that came out before I was born. But yeah, it took gremlin puppets and a guy ripping a heart out of somebody opposite Harrison Ford to make PG-13 movies possible.
And it wasn't because of the violence. It's just it was scaring kids. That's the only reason PG-13 was really.
Those
created.
gremlins were scary as hell.
No, it took. It. Thank you, Allie, for going and seeing with me at the art theater.
I saw that for the first time when I was probably 7, and I was like, no, no,
12.
I was terrified of hamsters and gerbils for years because they looked too much like Gizmo.
Oh, jeez, so that's the story of PG-13 though. It's basically most action movies were still rated R. It's kind of the opposite. It gets back to South Park. Oh, and feel free to treat yourself to Punch and Pie. South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, where the message is, just remember what the MPAA says. It's all right to show gruesome violence,
but don't say naughty words to children.
Yes. So, and then it all changes in 89 with Batman. My mom never let us see PG-13 rated movies. I was 9 when Batman came out, but it's Batman. Mom took us all out, and then Batman Returns made her regret that. Which is the better of the Batman, I think.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I still like the first one.
Oh, I love the first. I love them both, but
yeah.
And that's one panel I gotta come up with, Christmas adjacent, because if you don't release a Christmas movie, like Gremlins was supposed to be released at Christmas.
Yeah. Gremlins is a Christmas movie. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Well, do not fight me on this. I don't care what Bruce Willis says. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. He is at a Christmas party. What the hell else would you call it?
I know it's very Christmas themed, but they should have released it at Christmas. Like Gremlins was supposed to be released at Christmas. They Warner Brothers we need something.
A release date does not a theme make.
Yeah, like Iron Man 3. You gonna call that a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, like Shane Black, that's the laziest stuff he does.
Oh, I didn't say it was a good movie, but it is a Christmas movie.
All right. Okay, so this is another example, though. Now let's get into a good prelude into the 1985 panel we'll be doing at 10 in this room. The greatest feud in cinema, I would say. I mean, the greatest... not violent feud. We're not talking.
No, it was friendly.
Yeah, we're not talking Betty Davis and Joan Crawford on FX. The feud. Yeah, friendly. I don't know what he did to him.
Okay. Yeah. Friendly-ish.
They started a restaurant together.
Yeah, and then they started talking a lot of shit.
All right, so. Stallone was still the biggest action star, box office wise. We will get that straightened out at 10 p.m. Yep. So, his movie, he was originally supposed to do Beverly Hills Cop. He wanted a serious movie, though, and they rewrote the script for Eddie Murphy. So, this is the script. Cobra. The story of Marion Cobretti of the Zombie Squad.
Let's let that marinate for a minute. The guy's nickname is Cobra because his last name is Cobretti. What? And the Zombie Squad. What?
So the film opened.
Police officers called the Zombie Squad. What?
He does the stuff but no other cops willing to do.
Yeah, because it's usually illegal.
I don't think he did anything wrong in the opening scene. The supermarket, except drink a beer, didn't pay for that.
I'm gonna say, yeah, that's theft.
Okay, all right.
I do that, I'm going to lockup.
Okay, so Mary Cobretti there's a Death Stalker. I can't remember the name of the stalker group. Not the Night Stalker, because that was Ramirez.
Night Reapers. Anyway, there's these weirdos stalking somebody.
There's I work in retail. I would really like around closing time to have some axes just so I can bang them together to make people not come in. I want to close at 9.
I use my appearance to make people not want to come in.
So, I really should. I usually wear a face mask covering all the time. I should really just say, yeah, no, I am sick, you guys. People need to mind their own business. I get way too many questions about it. All right, so they have been killing probably about 20 people by this point.
Yeah, we haven't called in the FBI. No. We call in the zombie squad.
Well, you want to keep it in. You don't want go back to Die Hard. We know what the FBI does.
Okay, just because we got Johnson & Johnson, not related, taking care of things does not mean that all FBI... Okay, what am I saying? Of course they suck.
Okay. So, it's pre-Cash Patel.
Bruh.
Okay. So, there is one witness, portrayed by Brigitte Nielsen.
Who we'll be talking about later.
Yes, in the 1985 panel. That was my homework for that. But who's actually Mrs. Stallone by this point.
Yes. Because this was after Rocky 4. They met, dated, married.
Yeah.
Real quick, because it's Hollywood.
Right. And this is supposed to be like a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
Produced by the Cannon Group.
Yep.
Distributed by Warner Brothers. Directed by the man who directed Tombstone.
Yep.
George P. Cosmatos.
Yeah, I believe that's how you pronounce it.
Okay.
Yes.
And it was a wretched set. Stallone wouldn't show up. Why is this movie not going the way I want it? Because you're too busy stepping off and screwing around with your wife.
Plus, it was the 80s. It was rumored there was massive amounts of booger sugar.
Yes. Again, I'm just not. I can't. I got to refresh myself on Deadpool and Wolverine, which we covered on the podcast
gloriously.
Okay, so it's up to Stallone to protect her and solve the murders.
The guy whose name is Cobra because his last name is Cobretti, the most unoriginal stuff you could think of.
And never mind, Marion's a reference to John Wayne.
Yep.
So.
And does he ever take his sunglasses off? By choice.
I think in the restaurant scene.
He wears the Super Trooper Top Gun stunner shades the whole movie. Indoors at night.
So ridiculous action. Brian Thompson's first real.
I think so.
He gets he was underutilized. And then he was Shang Tsung and Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and that was it. He still works, but he was not even the heavy in Lionheart.
No, but he did have he was a cast member on one of those TNT crime drama shows.
No, he worked, but he had a look to him.
Well,
he had a gravelly voice.
He was scary.
Yeah. Ends up in a steel mill after a huge driving gunfight.
Why was it so easy to access steel mills in movies in the 80s?
And all the way to, I think, if it wasn't for Terminator 2...
91, so yeah.
Slamming you're not going to top this.
No, when you wreck an entire tanker truck of liquid nitrogen in a steel mill, OSHA will get involved.
Okay. So, the guy hot on his tail, and the guy who would eventually talk him would sabotage his career by saying, this stopping my mom will shoot. I'm interested in this. Arnold Schwarzenegger, fresh off Commando, and I think if they would have just written this movie as a sequel to Commando, it would have worked. Listen, they're in witness protection.
It wouldn't have been any worse.
So raw deal. So. Arnold Schwarzenegger, FBI agent, just had to resign in disgrace,
Because
He beat the shit out of a pedophile murderer. So
that shit was relevant back then.
So he finds a sheriff job, while he's in witness protection.
Yeah, he's in witness protection program from the mob. He's Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's a small town sheriff in the middle of nowhere Midwest.
Yeah. So
did I mention he's Arnold Schwarzenegger? You can't hide someone that looks and sounds like him.
And they've done that movie twice, at least in this century.
Yeah.
But I digress. So he, his best friend in the bureau, son is killed by the mob, and this is personal. He's just not even on the books. He goes and has Schwarzenegger fake his own death by blowing up a chemical plant.
Again, far too easy to access those in 80s movies.
He was a cop.
Still.
Okay. And he goes up to Chicago to go...
Because it's a mob movie.
Yep. And go and take care of business. Robert Davi, going back to Goonies, is the top heavy. Kind of dies like a punk. Yes, thank you.
I got you.
Thanks. But yeah, and there's it's not as fun as Commando. There's some ridiculous scenes, but
the one-liners are better in Commando.
You got the heavies actually get to do stuff in Commando,
and it's I think it's actually more absurd than Raw Deal, but in a good way.
Yes,
Raw Deal is just absurd and just why, and at least with Commando, it's cheesy and fun.
Yes. Well, I mean, the quarry scene, I don't know where the hell you'd have a quarry, though, in Chicago.
Yeah, you'd be outside of Chicago, closer to where I grew up.
Right, yeah.
And I grew up in Indiana.
Yes. And that's why the Bears are never, always threatened.
I don't want them to go to Indiana. I want to stay here.
They always threaten, but it's I don't think it's ever going to, really... Gary, I like the joke. Gary, Indiana, and sorry if anybody's from Gary. I see an IU hat back there, so.
I grew up near West Lafayette. We'll talk later.
All right, but Gary, Indiana, a city so bad you're going to beat your kids to talent. All right, there's a Joe and Michael Jackson joke.
I grew up on a farm a couple hours south of Gary. We drove to South Dakota to buy cattle because, sure, and we had to go through Gary to do it. So with a loaded cattle trailer with 20 cattle on it, we stopped outside Gary, loaded up with as much gas as we could get in the truck, and we ran every red light to get through Gary. That's how bad Gary is.
So you get that the Corey scene's pretty much the peak. It is a good needle drop, just throwing the tape. So there's some fun scenes, but it's just not.
It's entertaining, but not in a memorable way.
Yeah, Cobra is entertaining, and how the hell was it so enjoyable?
I think it was enjoyable in the fact that it wasn't overtly bad.
Yeah.
That's really all you needed in the mid-'80s for a movie not to suck.
Right.
As long as it didn't suck, it was enjoyable.
Yeah, I don't know why we're not doing that right now in 2000s. Now, I can tell you why, and this is pretty much the end of knockoff cinema, is studios put so much money into movies now, nobody's competing against each other week by week. It's kind of boring in all honesty.
I mean, the budget for a lot of movies these days is as much as some of the grosses that I mentioned earlier for the top films of the year.
Yeah.
The $357 million that Top Gun made, they spent way more than that making a Marvel movie. Trust me.
They probably spent that much money to make the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, when they would turn around almost 40 years later. See, at least Iron Eagle made the first sequel 2 years later. You want to know when we got the first Top Gun sequel? 38 years later.
Yeah, it's that tells you, but you can't afford your movie to be a bomb.
Right.
That's why direct-to-video is a thing. It's you don't, we have We have Transformers at home.
Sure, but is the direct-to-video market dying now because you can make movies cheaply for streaming platforms?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's pretty much there's no video stores anymore.
Right.
So it's all streamers. Independent film's about the only thing, and you need a streamer to grab your project to get it seen. Or you can contact me. I've spoken to many a director on the podcast. All right, one, but I've turned down. I've had offers. There's a movie I recently watched.
This sounds oddly like I have a girlfriend in Canada.
I got the emails. I did speak with Kyle Weingart about Cuisine de l'Apocalypse, released last year. It's on Tubi. Fun guy who wants to be a chef after every apocalypse has happened. So you got zombies. You have killer robots designed to kill the zombies who got bored.
And now they're killing the people?
Right.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to check that out.
Right. Another one I would say is I run into this guy at a lot of conventions, Aaron Reynolds of Effin' Birds, and he produces movies. There's still the Canadian tax break laws.
Oh, yeah.
So Galaxy Warriors, it was fun. But I still need to watch Nano Shark. Basically, somebody's got cancer. Well, why don't we shrink a shark in there and stick it in? Okay, now we gotta go.
The cancer.
Yes. And of course, it starts eating everything, so they gotta
Because it's a shark in a human body.
So they gotta shrink people to go and kill the shark.
Because it's a shark in a human body.
So, just some suggestions so that you'll, stuff I cover and I Did Crazy Flicks. But to wrap her all up, thank you very much for all coming to the panel, letting us just BS about
movies.
Yeah. And
if you can't tell, we've watched far too many of them.
Oh. Yeah, no, I got the annoyed look from
receipts.
Yes. So you want to learn more ididcrazyflix.com. I have a patreon.com/ididcrazyflix. Get a shout out in each episode and other perks, ad free, of course. So I got to thank Tim Bass. You can find him on episodes about Night of the Demons from 1988, Bloodsport in Space Arena. My good friend, the Scoop Staley from Chicagoland, great underutilized professional personality in wrestling, and my dad. I want to thank Station Marie Harden for keeping an eye on me, keeping me out of too much trouble, and I hope she's doing that for everybody else she touched in her life, and I hope she's squeezing the ectoplasm out of Skimble Shanks, the one-eared angel, formerly Skimble the bastard cat. The most, as I say, most jovial kitties. So thanks for checking out this panel, and to quote David Tennant from Good Omens, can I get a wahoo? All right.
Thank you, everybody. We'll be back in an hour.
This podcast was made possible by the love and support of Dave and Cindy Stevens, Rory Stevens and Allison Higgins, Danny Daniels, and Stephanie Smith.
Long live Flash! You've saved your Earth. Have a nice day.